Morning, boomers. The voice of the blockchain here, Satoshi's biggest cousin, cryptography's finest, Champagne Crypto, your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber, back with another live stream. Make sure you're touching and caressing the buttons, the like, the subscribe, post notification, ding, ding, button it up. Stay spruced up for this crypto dip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. Taking a little dip today from about 92 to about 86 or 87. We'll be checking out the charts. And today we're talking about, what do you expect? I want to talk about crypto and Bitcoin expectations because I'm hearing all kinds of things. And, I want to take a pulse here on the community, basically see what you guys are thinking and also share what my expectations are, because those have changed. And, we want to manage expectations out here, and I want to get your opinions as to where things are going. What do you expect out here, guys? What do you expect? Did you expect this thing to kaboom? Are you surprised that this is dumping right now? Let me know here in the population of the chat box. We're going to be talking more about managing these crypto and Bitcoin expectations. Shout out to Satoshi Nakamoto, our little cousin out there. Good morning to you as well. Let me go ahead and share my screen out here. Turn off these coins. You can see the Coinbase charts here via TradingView. Price has dipped from 92 to a low of 86.60 today, about almost 5% dip. And Nakamoto says there's no surprise here, and neither for me. I'll tell you that there's no surprise. I kept telling people, be prepared for anything. Like I said yesterday, always have your storm supplies ready, because this thing can take a dip, dive, and a slide at any moment. And the opposite is true as well. They can take a pump at any moment. So. We could dip to 87 tomorrow. We can wake up at 99. I don't know. Okay. At the end of the day, we know that the markets are more controlled than one had expected. And now that the institutions are in the game, I don't see any new players in the game. So it seems to me like the price that Bitcoin has been trading at these few weeks is a fair value, if you ask me. So, around 9,000 seems like a fair value. Is that the real price of Bitcoin? Okay, what do we expect? I mean, do we expect a $200,000 Bitcoin overnight? Are you like John McAfee, ready to eat your penis out there? I don't understand. A lot of greed in the markets out there, boomers. What are your expectations? What do you think is going to happen? Do you still think that Bitcoin is here to save everybody? Or have you realized that Satoshi Santa Claus? Drop a comment here in the population of the chat box. Hey, champ, here's my take on it. I think in order for us to get a rally, Bitcoin going to have to drop so people feel like they're going to get more than they're paying for. Yeah, but we did have a drop. We dropped to about 7. Satoshi said he's got a order at 68.50. How much is it going to drop? This is what I think. I don't think it's going to kapump anymore until there's new blood. Who's the new people into Bitcoin? The institutions that wanted to get in, they are in. Backed is up. Fidelity or TD or whatever these people are. I mean, it seems like the major players that we're going to get in this year, they already positioned themselves. Now, I would expect the industry to grow next year, but as far as new blood, people buying into Bitcoin right now, the demand hasn't dramatically increased. So if the demand hasn't increased, how could you expect the price to? So what do you expect? Okay. As far as the macro perspective, are you still sipping on Satoshi Nakamoto's potion? Are you still sipping that Kool-Aid? Do you believe that Satoshi Nakamoto was really a guy that came to save everybody? A random Asian dude that was never identified by anyone, and he never cashed out. Okay. He never cashed out. Do you believe that, guys? Okay. Furthermore, do you believe McAfee? Do you think this thing is going to 200, 300, 400, 500, $1 million? Do you believe that? Are you ready to eat penises online? I don't know, because I'm not. I'll tell you that much. I just expect that 90% of the alts going to zero, says Sorian. Yeah, we know that. Satoshi says, good point. I like your point, Satoshi. I think that, if the price does drop dramatically, that could increase some of the demand. But I'm talking about new blood, new buyers. During the last run up, we had new people coming in, and that increased the value, added into increasing the value amongst other factors. But right now, I don't see that many new players, and that's probably why we've been trading sideways. I think that it's a fair price for Bitcoin, around $9,000. That is a fair price. Sorian says there's no Satoshi, man. Yeah, that's what I'm listen, guys, like I said in, yesterday's live stream, and I've been saying it for a while now, some people said, Champ, you're a little cynical. I'm not. I'm just trying to speak the truth out here, or what appears to be true. If you believe some random Asian dude named Nakamoto came out of nowhere and dropped a white paper on us like Santa Claus on Christmas, and then on top of everything didn't cash out when this thing went from pennies on the dollar to where it is now, I think the joke's on you guys. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. So at this point, we know what we're into right now. Perhaps something that was manipulated from the beginning. But what's sexy is that I think that there's a fair value right now. I think there's a use case scenario for Bitcoin. I think there's a fair value. The supply is meeting the demand right now where we're at, around 9,000. Of course, the market makers and some of those manipulators may pull the plug or press the button and swing this thing 10, 20% left or right. But, the players are here, and there is a supply and demand, and we found some sort of a price. Now, to think that this thing is going to go to $200,000 or even at $50,000 as we approach the halving, to me is a little bit either greedy or just straight up naive, or maybe stupid. There's some stupidity out there. Yeah, yes, Satoshi and all his untraceable IP addresses came to save us. Right. I mean, come on, guys. So, if you're still thinking that, Bitcoin's the revolution that's going to save everybody, I don't think so. Now, I'm going to stand by saying that I think Bitcoin will be some sort of a global reserve currency. I think as these government blockchains go online, perhaps they will value themselves against Bitcoin. I don't know. Again, I suspect that the deep state is behind Satoshi. They have control of a large amount of coins. So whether, some people say Bitcoin, it's unconfiscatable, okay? But it's also non-fungible and blacklistable, okay? So whether it could be confiscated or not is not the concern here. It's not private and it's not fungible. Crypto surveillance out there, boomers. That all being said, I think this thing is going to move up, okay? We're going to be trading sideways. There'll be some FOMO out there as we approach the halving, but to say that we're going to go to $50,000, $100,000 overnight, guys, I think the major pump happened already. Those major pumps happened. What are your expectations? What do you think the future of Bitcoin is? What do you think the future of crypto is? What do you think the price is going to be? Did you expect the price to go down? Were you expecting it to go up? Let me know. At the beginning of this year, when Bitcoin was around $3,000 or $4,000, I stayed to my prediction that we will close the end of the year in at around 10,000. So, around maybe 9,000, 9,400, 98, somewhere, plus or minus, $600-700. That's what I've been saying. Long-term bull for sure. Give it a decade, says Niagara Gardner. Listen, I think that it's here to stay. That is not arguable. It's here to stay. I mean, if it never went away when it was pennies on the dollar, if it didn't go away when it was dollars, $10, $100, now it's thousands of dollars, guys, the plan was for it to be here from the beginning. Now, how much more is it going to kapump? I really don't know. Is it going to dump back to the $1,000 range? I don't think so either. They're setting up a product here through these institutions to make more revenue. So to go ahead and say that Bitcoin's not gonna survive, it's not gonna go anywhere, it's gonna become obsolete, I think is also naive as well. So it's here to stay. I never thought Bitcoin is here to save everyone, says CryptoZilla, but many did. Okay, and the white paper kind of presented it like saving grace, and a lot of the crypto enthusiasts that were promoting Bitcoin in the white paper, those originals that even dealt with Satoshi himself via the forums, they promoted Bitcoin like if it's the saving grace. Anything can happen with Bitcoin because it's very manipulating, so it's hard to predict such a thing. Yeah, anything could happen, but I think that what I want to do is manage the expectations. Some things are more probable than others. Like anything can happen, yeah, but more than likely we're not going to be at $1,000 tomorrow. Okay, so what I want to know is what are the expectations out there. I'm going to stick to my expectation. We're going to close around $10,000 by the end of the year. Okay, January 1st. the price will be somewhere around 10,000. It could be 10.5, it could be 93, but it'll be around there, is what I'm saying. Now, again, I'm not anybody's crypto daddy. I'm not an analyst, and certainly I don't have ties to the deep state or Satoshi anymore. Although he's my little cousin, he hasn't called me in years. $1 million in 2028, says Niagara. You know, every day that passes, Niagara, I think that is less probable. But I'm going to hold bags till 2028. Now, as far as the halvening, what do you guys expect on the halvening? I don't think that we're going to crack all-time highs. In fact, I think we're going to go, I agree that, Niagara, about 14K of the halvening, maybe even 16K. But I think the probability of us falling short of an all-time high is way higher than the probability of us meeting and exceeding that all-time high. We know who started Amazon. It's made a lot of people's lives better. It's made many rich. But knowing Jeff Bezos, the founder, does that make us feel Amazon is here to save us? No, absolutely not. But Amazon was never set up as an alternative to the fiat currency. Amazon was just set up as a bookstore. It didn't make any promises of saving. And I would say that it would have more trouble earning investors if people didn't know who was behind the company. People know who Jeff Bezos is, and there's certain regulations where people know who's or allegedly behind these things, and the financials are open, allegedly. But when it comes to, Nakamoto, nobody knows who Nakamoto is. $1 million Bitcoin will come through the hyperinflation of the dollar. At that point, how much is it really worth? Yeah, if we get $1 million Bitcoin, okay, what is the dollar worth, and what is that $1 million Bitcoin going to buy you? Okay, we've shared in the past examples of hyperinflation that has occurred in Venezuela, and where we showed pictures of paper cash on top of a table next to a whole rotisserie chicken, showing you an example of how much cash it takes to buy just a chicken. It was like a pile of cash, So that's a good point there, Ty. If we get $1 million Bitcoin, then, what is that Bitcoin going to really buy you? All founders typically leave a big stake, Gates, Bezos, etc. But do they leave all the stake? Never. Okay, none of these founders have left all the stake, and if there is one, maybe that is, a random occurrence. But Nakamoto says he's dead. I don't know. I'm starting to say that, guys, they got Epstein in a cell. Okay, and you're telling me that they don't know who Nakamoto is? Come on, guys. If you're just tuning in, it's the voice here, the crypto champion. What do you expect? Did you expect the price to go up or down? What were you expecting out there? Are you still expecting this thing to hit 50,000 on an all-time high? I want to go ahead and manage expectations. What are you going to do? Do you have a plan? What are you holding these bits for? At least Niagara says that, at least, he's going to hold till 2028 expecting $1 million Bitcoin. Although I don't think we're going to go that high. It sounds at least like he's got a plan. He knows what, he's got some expectations. Shout out to Rafterman. He just dropped me $2 there. I appreciate that, Rafterman. Little fiat off the ceiling out there. If you're just tuning in, what do you expect with these cryptos, guys? Okay, do you still think that Bitcoin is here as the alternative? Because I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. Shout out to Champ, says Marlon Jones. I see you, Marlon. What are your expectations, Marlon? What do you expect the price to do right now? What is your expectations now from here to December and in and around the halvening? I want to hear what people's expectations are. I'm not surprised that the price took a little dip. I'm not surprised at all. He's giving into Tron. All right. I was looking at Tron before I got into EOS. There was a lot of similarities, but I ended up with EOS. And, EOS paid the piper, so let's see. Block 1 is working with DC now, apparently. I see a lot of those games on Tron. Where's Tron at? Tron is still like number 12 or something? Will Tron ever be top 10 again? Number 11. Okay. 1 cent on Tron. See the history on Tron. This one is another smart contract platform. And you can see the charts. Yeah, Marlon says he's been playing the Tron Daps. Yeah, that's usually what I see there on the Tron platform. You know, these gambling dApps and a lot of games or whatnot. And I've tried some of them, not on Tron, but on EOS and other blockchains. But it's not for me. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not for me. Some of the games may be cool or not. You know, I'm not anti-gaming at all, but it's not for me. And Marlon says Tron is great for passive income. You know, I question that though, because yeah, it's like, you know, you're getting Steam, but then the price of the coin keeps going down. The coin's a cents. The divs are great. Yeah, okay, we'll see. Shout out to Marlon. Keep us updated as to what's going on with Tron. Shout out to Double X. I see you with the glasses out there. Guys, give us your expectations on the bits, altcoins, and all the crypto space. I want to hear what your expectations are as far as pricing, as far as the position of Bitcoin on a macro scale, and let me know. We're currently reading 87.73. And if you're a swing trader, okay, if you're a swinger or a day trader, this may trigger a buy. You know, this may trigger a buy. I'm not. And I'm not advising to do so, but I can see that possibility. You know, things take a little 5% dip and maybe a 3% rise, and people make some income on the difference. Niagara says expectations moon BTC is the one. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that I have no doubt that, you know, BTC is the one. Okay, there's no doubt. People will be FOMOing going into the end of the month. Xmas pump will be epic. Let's see. Hopefully. I mean, you know, I think I shared something yesterday that said that usually November has some major movements, and, you know, we've seen some movements in the holidays in the past. Certainly didn't happen last year. But I don't expect it. I don't expect a Christmas pump. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't expect a Christmas pump. Hopefully I'm wrong so that things will exceed my expectations. But the name of the stream is What Do You Expect? I don't expect a pump for anything until we get a little closer to the halvening. And I also expect the pump to fall short of an all-time high. I'm not putting any more money until the Tether drama plays out. I read some headline that Tether said that they're fully back now. I think it was on CoinDesk today. You may want to check that out here. Is it on? There it is. Tether says its stablecoin is fully backed again. You may want to check this article. I haven't read it though. And I want nothing to do with Tether. I don't care about Tether. And it smells funny bunny. Marlon says he thinks we'll end the year at 11 to 12K BTC, $250 to $300 ETH. Okay, thanks for sharing that with us. That doesn't seem, you know, too high, or it doesn't seem unreasonable, Marlon. But I still think I don't expect that. Satoshi says, sounds like you expect a dump. You know, it's possible that we can see some dumps. I think that the possibility of going in the $6,000 or $7,000 range is still there. Okay, you know, I think it's definitely still there. I feel like there's way too much expectations of a boom right now for it to happen. Like I said, I don't think there's any new blood. There's no new demand out there. So what's going to drive the price to above 15? If you don't have any new blood, then I don't see what's going to drive the price. Unless there's some crazy news that comes out. Even yesterday, Ethereum announced its upgrade with Istanbul, but they're not moving to POS. Okay, and, you know, the price didn't do much for Ether. I mean, it's up 2% today, but, you know. I expect Chainlink to pump suit. A lot of people sleeping on Link, says Jojo. Where's the price of Link? 267. But what do you mean by a pump? Is it, you know, back to all-time highs? I think the pump was like, the all-time high was like $4. So blood on the streets here. This would definitely trigger a buy if I was swing trading. iExec is a major one down. I think Marlon was trying to tell me to look at this one. Bidem, Icon, Zilliqa. Is there anything pumping today? DX, Swipe, and Maker. I still believe in DeFi on Ether. I'll tell you that. Beware of the bear trap hodl. Yeah, listen, I mean, I'm not telling you guys that, you know, go ahead and sell your bits and it's all over with. Absolutely not. You know, even if it takes a dip to 6,000. I mean, we saw this dip at 7,000 just the other day. It was okay. We held through the storm, not a problem, and boom, we went back to 9. I think that the fair value of Bitcoin right now is about $9,000. That's why it's been so difficult to go, you know, to those numbers again, 13.8, 15, 7. It's really hard because the fair value is around 10,000. Norm says market cycles will move price. Never mind how people feel or think. Tide goes in, tide goes out. Rinse and repeat every 4 years. You know, I think there's some truth to what you say there. You know, the market does come in cycles, and there's some sort of order to it. But to not mind how people feel or think, it's not a strategy that I would follow. I'm paying attention to how people feel or think because this is an emotional market as well. But I do agree with the market cycles. I think all-time high is about a year after happening to a year and a half after. Okay. So you're saying that, you know, we won't hit till 2021. Marlon's talking about RLC. Okay. I don't know anything about it, so you know, I really don't care. I'm gonna be honest with you. Link, I don't know. You know, Link, I definitely think Link's gonna stay, guys, you know, with this Google partnership or whatnot, but I don't think any of these coins are gonna hit an all-time high any second. I'm gonna think all these coins are gonna go short of all-time high. Maybe one of them may touch an all-time high, but everybody's expecting way too much. That's the point of this video, guys. Everybody, not everyone, okay? I'm not that I can't speak in absolute, but there's a significant amount of people that are expecting too much, and because of that, I'm managing my expectations. There's the way it works. Big whales start to sell a small amount to get the market moving in the down direction. Then they pump some more. Then they stop. Everyone else continues. They clean up. Yeah, I mean, it's happened several times. I mean, you could say that happened the other day when we dropped to 7,000 there, Satoshi. I'm sticking my expectations. I'm holding these bits, okay, because they're here to stay. I'm still bullish. I think we're going to come close to doubling the price of what we're at now. So about, you know, 16, maybe even 18, you know, I think we could reach 15. I definitely feel that we could exceed this year's all-time high, which I believe was 13.8. Champ going short 100x on expectations. I mean, I wouldn't short the bits. But if I was a trader, I mean, you know, there's times that you could short it and make money, you know. But it's just not me. I'm not a day trader or a swinger. So I'm here for the long pump, and I think that my expectation is that we'll get close to an all-time high next year. Once the price settles and finds its new fair value, whatever that may be, and then we can do some new predictions and expectations and see where we'll take it to next. But, you know, waiting around for $200, $300, $450, you know, $1 million to me, I'm not even waiting for that. You know, I'm not saying it's not possible because, you know, anything's possible out here with these cryptos. But, again, managing my expectations, I'm still, and I continue, I want to see $1 trillion market cap for all crypto. And, maybe we can see that next year, but the possibility or my expectations of that happening are lower than they were at the beginning of the year. I kept saying last year, I was like, you know, I think that, or the beginning of this year, I think that this happening may drive the price to $1 trillion market cap for all of crypto, and that would put Bitcoin around 30,000. And that's what I was expecting for a while now. But, you know, taking a pulse here on the crypto markets, getting the vibe from the population, from the rest of the forums that I've visited. I think there's too much expectation for things to go up. And because of that, I think they're going to fall short. But not too short, not too short. I'm not saying they're going like 5,000. They're going over 10K, guys. You better hold on to don't sell your Bitcoin, in my opinion. Hold that bit and throw it under the pillow. RLC is competing with companies like Amazon Cloud. Okay. I wonder if the 2020 POTUS election will affect anything. I don't know. I mean, the POTUS did tweet against cryptos, and the price didn't really move that much when that happened. Maybe a month later is when the price started moving down. But we'll see. Yeah, you guys check out RLC if you're interested. Marlon's talking about it, but I'm not going to get into it because I'm not. So, thanks for sharing, and maybe somebody else in the population will check it out, but the champ's not interested. The champ's not interested in the baby alts. And I'm not even interested in getting 32 ETH now, Marlon. I'm going to be after this Istanbul announcement yesterday. I'm glad that I wasn't on the road to 32 because, again, it's too much hype, too much expectations. Everybody thinks, oh, ETH is going to go POS. I'm going to become rich. I don't think so. It's going to take forever for it to go POS. And in the meantime and in between time, you probably could have stacked more Bitcoin. Shout out to Bit Papa. Welcome back to the box there, Bit. See you in a while. Another one of our day one boomers out here. What do you expect, Big Papa? Let me know. Did you expect this little dip today? Did you expect a pump? What do you think the price of Bitcoin will close at the end of the year? My predictions are around 16 to 22, around 16K, 17K. I think we're going to fall short of all-time high. And that's for the halvening. By the end of the year, I don't even think that we'll go much past 10,000. Bit Papa says, I'm going to send you some BAT later this weekend. Thank you. And thank you to everybody that's downloaded the Brave browser. I've definitely gotten some coins because of that. If you don't know, I have a link to the Brave browser down below. If you end up downloading it and installing it, you have to leave it on your computer installed for like 30 days. They give me $5 worth of BAT for sharing information about the browser. So, it's a way to support the channel. And I'm getting something out of it. So I want to be clear. They give me $5. And you can also send me a tip like Bit Papa did, or like Bit Papa's going to. I appreciate it. I see the BAT tokens come in, but again, I cannot see who exactly sent them. And I would love for the developers to upgrade that so that I'm able to see who sent the BAT tokens along with the message, similar to how people send super chats here. Bit Papa says, you know me, champ, I'm conspiracy realist. I've been saying government interference and manipulation. It's going down, says Bit Papa. Okay. How low do you think there, Bit Papa? Marlon says next year has always been the ETA for POS. Istanbul's just step number 1. Yeah, but I've been hearing that. It's like, oh, this is the next step. I've heard. And you don't have to convince me, Marlon. I'm just saying what I've heard. Casper, sharding, plasma. I've been hearing this stuff from Vitalik and friends. Vitalik and friends are watching Game Changers documentary, eating plant-based. Okay, I got like 2 other boomers that I was on the horn with yesterday telling me, champ, did you watch the Game Changers documentary? Guys, stop eating like a gerbil, okay? And realize that Leftflix was co-founded by the father of propaganda himself. The gentleman's name, I think, is Mark Bernays. He is directly related to Edward Bernays, the father of propaganda. And they're also related to Sigmund Freud, the father of psychoanalysis, trying to replace the confessional with the psychoanalytic of having the patient lay down on the table, or not on the table, on the couch. It's just a replacement of the confessional, guys. So they try to remix the stuff. ETH can't go POS. It's been labeled as security, and all the DeFi projects would jump ship. They would be under the rulership of SEC. I don't know if that's true, Ty. My understanding is that the SEC already came out and gave the pass to ETH. They said that they've already deemed that they're not a security. So I'm not sure if that statement is true. It's certainly, I don't think so. But, you may want to cross-reference in that. BitPapa says 7,900 is possible. I agree. Marlon says he thinks ETH will reach 1K by end of 2020 and it will cost you 32,000 a stake. I don't. And I'm still holding my ETH. And I've been talking about DeFi, Marlon, but I don't think that we're going to hit a 1K ETH by the end of 2020. I don't think so. Hopefully I'm wrong though, because I'm going to hold my bags. If ETH makes a misstep, Adam's waiting to pick up all the market cap. Cosmos, BNB chain. Okay. Wasn't ETH trying to use Bitcoin Cash to scale? Yeah, I know. BitPapa said ETH is trash bags. Oh, man. It's not POS yet. That's why it's not a security. So why would it become a security if they move to POS? I don't understand that. If the blockchain's already been established, will a technicality of mining change things? I don't know. And again, I'm not trying to stack these 32 ETH. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I could still see. I don't think that Marlon's crazy. I'll tell you that. I mean, it makes sense what he's doing. Like I understand, but I'm not gonna follow. But I can understand. I don't think, I wouldn't say that Marlon's doing a stupid move. No. It's not POS. That's where I read that. We're fighting for that 200 extended moving average, says Scotty. Let's see. I don't have that charted here, but let's see if we could cross that, the golden cross. We talked about it earlier this week. Champ, Big Brother's behind all these cryptos. I mean, I've been saying it, BitPapa. Check out my Toshi Claus stream that I did the other day. I said, Satoshi Nakamoto is the equivalent of Santa Claus for the financial industry. And I know it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way because I was, a believer too. I thought that, it was completely honest, but they knew about the fungibility and privacy issues from the beginning, guys. Crypto kiddings. That being said, though, guys, we were first movers and we're holding on to these bags that we expect to go up. And I think we've already are in the green. Vitalik is an alphabet boy along with Snowden and all these other clowns. I've been saying that, BitPapa. You sound like you have you checked out my streams lately? Because I said Snowden is looking like an actor to me. And I used to be a Snowden fan. I thought he was an American hero. But listen, guys. Okay, they got Epstein in a cell, yet they got Snowden allegedly over there in Russia appearing on Joe Rogan like it's all good. What is he also trying to sell you? Send you a download link and anymore? Snowden will be promoting a Brave browser link too. Shout out to Derek, he's back. So yeah, I agree with you, BitPop. I already said that about Toshi, and those chains that are here to stay are the ones that paid the piper. You got Binance, they paid the piper. Block Ones paid the piper, and several other ones. Champ, I was a person saying all this when people thought I was crazy. You must have forgot, but you're woke as fuck now. Listen, I stopped watching porn. Okay, number one thing, guys. Stop fapping and stop watching porn. 1 year without porn, you may be able to tell the future. Okay, it's it's godlike. Stop it with the porn out there, guys. Once you realize that porn is a tool against you, okay, it's not here to help you out. It's not here for your pleasure. It's a tool against you. Then once you realize that, and once you realize who owns all the porn companies, that's what's you start waking up. First mover ETH holders deserve all the money when it pumping happy joining a staking pool. But I know crypto community, if they miss the pump and cry and whine, manipulation control. No one's going to be crying and whining over here at least. I mean, I got an ETH bag though. I mean, like I'm saying all this and I still got an ETH bag. I haven't seen porn in forever. I make it with my lady instead. There you go. Derek says, I got a girl now, so I don't watch much. Girlfriend's enough. There you go, Derek. Hopefully, congratulations. Hopefully, she's a quality one. Rafterman says, unfortunately, Ripper has paid the piper. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised about that as well. I mean, I've been saying that Ripple was the piper from the beginning. And I never said Ripple was going to zero either. Derek says she's quality. Yeah, if she's quality, then consider having a family. Okay, that's the wave out there, guys. They want to tell you to watch more porn. They want to tell you to be promiscuous your whole life and not to have any real responsibilities. But guys, what do you expect? What do you think the future of this country is going to be if we don't have more families and more children? We're not going to be able to replace our ancestors unless we have families. Derek says, I'm too young. You're young enough to buy Bitcoin. You're young enough to be charged with a crime. So I'm curious about what China's going to do with BTC mining when they implement state crypto, says BitPapa. I don't know, but, they switch all the time, these Chinese. It's like one day they're banning the mining, the other day they're okay with it. The commies, you never know with the commies out there. Marlon says Bitcoin should not be a currency. I mean, the white paper says it's a peer-to-peer currency. So I don't know. True, I'm too young to have the family I want, though. Okay, well, you sound like a child then. You need to man up and become a man, because if you're too young, you're still a little baby. Okay, you got to, that's the bottom line. I wish I would have known these things when I was younger too. You want true, freedom, or forget the freedom thing. If you truly want an alternative to the system, start growing your own food, get your own land, have a bigger family, stop watching porn, stop fapping, stop depending on the banks for everything. And that's one path to some independence. Man up, says BitPapa. Absolutely. Listen, I mean, if you're old enough to nut in someone, then you should be old enough to start a family. And I didn't think that way, but I'm starting to. I'm starting to figure it all out. Arnie says BTC is dead. Absolutely not. BTC is here to stay. What do you expect? Yeah, BTC probably is here forever. People hodl gold, they don't spend it. Champ, is it wrong to want kids but not want to get married? According to the Bible, it is. There is no better environment than a family for children. Single parents, I mean, I was raised by single parents, but I'll tell you this much. There's no better environment than having a good mom and a good dad at home and a married family. There's no better environment for a little kid. Okay, you could do it in other environments, and it may work. But the best, don't you want the best for your children? I don't agree with that. Some kids do that at 14, but they shouldn't be a parent. Then they shouldn't be, involved in sexual intercourse. Just because you could procreate doesn't mean you should. That's what you think. Yeah, why take a risk with children not being married? Yeah, why take the risk? I mean, listen, again, it's not to knock single family homes, because there's plenty of them, and it is what it is. But when you're looking at I'm talking about the best condition. I mean, think about what do you want for yourself? I mean, you could rewind to when you were a kid. Wouldn't you want a good mom and a good dad there at the house, supportive for the little tyke at home? Marriage is a third-party contract with the state. Yeah, there's a contract with the state, but I'm talking about marriage in the eyes of the Lord. Yeah, marriage protects your families from expected death. Yeah, these MGTOW guys, though, the men going out their own way, and they're saying marriage is a contract with the state. I'm talking about a contract with you and another person, okay? If you're not ready to commit and have a contract with a woman and having a family, then you're still a little child, and you want to go ahead and stick your dick around everywhere, and, you acting like a kid. And they promote that like it's some sort of a good thing, but that's part of the scam, guys. Derek says, I agree, but ideally having a family right now would not be the best for my child, so I'd rather wait till I'm ready. How about you look at it the other way? What if you had a kid? Wouldn't he make you more ready and give you a more of a reason to do better? The stable BTC-backed coins are the future of cash. They will all be measured by the Bitcoin that backs them. That's probably a possibility. I think that we could see more coins backed by Bitcoin. I think that's a possibility. Derek said, true, he would. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the whole point. The Lord wants us to have families. It makes you a better person. How could you trust a man that doesn't have any stake in the future? If a man doesn't have a family and kids, then he has basically, he can lose it all. I mean, he's only for himself. You can't trust a man that's only for himself. Think about that. If a man is only for himself, how could you trust that man? He has no stake in the future. But I could provide more for the kid with more time. I mean, you could always have more, but you're thinking greedy. Put your dick up. It makes you a better, more powerful leader. Lust is weakness. That's right. And I've talked about this before with logos, pathos, and ethos. If you're letting your passions drive you, if you're doing what you love, if you're only following what you love and what your passions are, then by definition, you're following pathos, which is a pathology. Okay? It's pathologic to follow only your passions. So you need to follow logic, logos, reason. You can have a family without the government. Absolutely. Yes, you can. The government is not the one that makes you have kids. So I'm talking about a marriage contract between a man or a woman. Now, if you want to go and have it signed by the state, that's another thing. But I'm saying to have it recognized by the Lord himself. And that's something that's between you and your church, or you and your significant other, or I'm not talking about the state here. Do you think Bitcoin will go lower than 8K? Yeah, it's a possibility. Satoshi says, praise the Lord, indeed. Let me drop a bomb for you. $2 from Satoshi. I appreciate it. But, I want you guys to really think about that, You think about long term. You want to trust a 40, 50-year-old man that doesn't have a family and all he does is worry about stacking more bits? Or, the opposite, someone that has a stake for the long term. You got to understand that. And that's not to knock those that, don't have families, because sometimes people don't, and it's not perfect for everyone. Mackenzie Hines says, you sound like a Christian nutcase. Well, you sound like you just got banned for life. See you later. I don't need you here, and you never been here, so see you later. How about that? You sound like you just got banned for life. See you later. I agree with you, champ, but I just think it's better to wait until the time is right for the future kid. The time's never going to be perfect in your eyes. I never thought it was perfect for me. If you only follow your passions, you're lowering yourself to the level of the animals. Exactly. It's the biggest scam. Like they tell you this in school and the media now. Follow your passions. That right there is like telling you watch porn. It's like follow your passions, watch porn, for that matter. Big Papa says I'm 38 with no kids or marriage. Okay, I'm. That doesn't mean that you can't have kids or you can't be married. And I would say that it would be better to have kids. I'm not saying that, I'm not knocking you for not. I mean, it is what it is. I'm a single father. I'm killing it. I don't knock people's beliefs, though. You're doing as best as you can. That's the bottom line. Let me turn off that wasted thing. But you see the logic that I'm trying to present here. I have plenty of those that I know that don't have a family or a kids, and that's okay. I'm not saying you, but think about this. On average, who would you trust more? Someone that has a stake for the future or not? Think about this, Big Pop. I'm not talking about you when you're dealing with someone. I just met a woman to bear my children within the next couple of years. Then congratulations. Derek says the wasted thing keeps going off. Yeah, I turned it off. Hey, bros, Tesla's got good news. All right. Big Papa says, I'm not offended. No, I know you're not. I know you're not. Derek said, I'd rather be a single father than have a bad wife. But no one said that you had to choose between one or the other. Okay? I would rather have a good family than being a single father or having a bad wife, So what's the point? Great show, by the way, champ. Thank you, Bid. I appreciate that. I had a request for, talking about more things outside of crypto. I don't know who said it, but, when I was talking about other things the other day, people said, champ, talk about these things more. I think it was Sergeant of the Marines. So, I'll talk about these things. I'll keep it crypto based because, I'm still crip walking. Shout out to my walkers. I could have had a lot of bad wives, but never none of them. Yeah, that's the problem too. I mean, a lot of women nowadays, they're scammed too. They're watching porn as well. You don't think that, don't think the men are the only one watching porn all day. Derek says, my girl wants a family one day. That's good. That's good. You got to think about this, guys. What's the whole point of having a relationship if all you're going to do is just, pleasure each other and perform sodomy all day? You're sodomizing each other. Sterile sex. There's no point. You want to have life. Yeah, man talk is, we need to have these types of discussion out there because I'm seeing more and more soy boys. I see the pacification of America, and it's part of the